Hey everybody. It's easy to forget how alien of a concept watching cartoons as an adult is if you didn't give them up at age 8. I mean, seriously. What could you possibly talk about in a 7-minute video about a TV show for kids? For some of you, the answer is obvious. But for those of you to whom it isn't, my goal is to present a compelling justification for why if something is suitable for kids, it doesn't mean it's only for kids. In art, there's the substance and the way it's presented. Here's a graphical representation of the idea. In a show like Peppa Pig, the substance is teaching kids simple lessons, such as don't lie and be kind to people. It is presented in a bright and easy to understand way to attract kids. Something like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, on the other end of the spectrum, contains themes that kids won't understand, and is presented more slowly and subtly, which they might find boring. Star Wars visually entices kids, with lightsabers and blasters, but has political themes under the surface. The quadrant you really don't want to be in is right there, next to the Batman. In this movie, the cinematography and videography are spectacular and can only be fully appreciated by a more mature audience. However, the message is played up and lacks subtlety, making it feel like it was spoon-fed. The mistake I'm trying to point out is that some people conflate Peppa Pig and Star Wars, even though the latter has themes that kids won't understand. The next idea is something I discussed with my brother. He argued there aren't two categories. Rather, both are just for kids. If this is the case, I have to convince you why it's not necessarily bad if something is for kids. Adults think media for kids is bad because they assume the message doesn't apply to them. How often do you hear people saying things like,
"Oh my god, the Lorax actually has underlying themes of capitalism."
This is because they aren't expecting a kids' movie to have a theme, let alone a meaningful one. These people don't want to associate themselves with kiddie things. Ironically, a lot of adults could benefit from the simple stories from kids' media. Tell me, if we're too mature for the themes of kids' shows, why do so many of us pretend to be somebody we're not for popularity, like SpongeBob in ripped pants? Why do we corrupt ourselves with power like Anakin? Why do we burden ourselves with a past like Jermaine? You're missing out on these important lessons and great stories if you just assume there's nothing to learn from them. Something doesn't have to be goated in every area for it to have value. Though I dissed the Batman earlier for not presenting its message in a way that was interesting to me, I understand why people appreciate the movie purely from a technical level. Kids' shows will have serviceable to pretty good dialogue and plot, but then have meticulous sets like Fantastic Mr. Fox. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. This movie isn't merely good for kids media, it's just straight good. The final idea I want to share is that it's a skill to be able to present a mature theme in a way that is suitable for kids. You can't be too complicated, since that undermines it being kid-friendly media. The key is subtlety. Think of a game like Super Smash Bros. On the surface, it's a kids' party game, and it is predominantly a kids' party game. But through subtly implementing mechanics that don't affect the experience of the casual player, the developers have spawned an entire community of professional level players.
I'm punking controller, dog! I'm punking controller!
Thanks for watching, and for all the support in the last video. It really does mean a lot, and I hope to talk to you soon. See you.